There is a key in your hand, Scorpio. Feel its weight. It's not just metal. It's forged from expectation, from pressure, from the relentless ticking of a clock that only you can hear. Before you stands a door. It's massive, ancient, carved with symbols you almost recognize, like the echoes of a dream. And every fiber of your being, every whisper from the outside world, every logical argument your brilliant mind can construct, is screaming at you to use the key, to turn the lock, to make the move. They tell you this is your moment, that destiny waits on the other side. They say that hesitation is failure, that stillness is stagnation, and they are all, in their own well-intentioned way, completely and utterly wrong. Stop. Don't make a move. Not yet. Because the most important message for you, for this pivotal moment in late October, is not about what lies behind that door. It's about the state of the hand that holds the key. This narrative is an invitation, a journey into one possible stream of cosmic energy flowing towards you right now. See it as a thought experiment, a mirror held up not to your face, but to your soul. If the story that unfolds resonates with the deep, quiet hum of your own intuition, then take the wisdom that feels like yours and weave it into your own reality. If it does not, simply let the words wash over you and fade, for they were meant for another traveler on another path. The only truth that matters is the one that awakens within you. Hold on to what feels true and let the rest go. So let's begin with that key. You've been carrying it for a while now, haven't you? For some of you, it manifested as a job offer, a chance to relocate, the final papers for a separation, or a difficult conversation you know you need to have. For others, it's more subtle. It's the internal decision to finally change, to shed a skin you've long outgrown, to step into a new version of yourself. The pressure to use it is immense. It feels like the culmination of everything you've been working towards. The universe itself seems to be giving you a cosmic green light. And yet, there is a dissonance, a faint, almost imperceptible tremor of wrongness. The key feels too heavy in your palm. The door seems to lean forward with a hungry, almost predatory energy. This isn't the clean, triumphant click of destiny you imagined. This feels compromised. This is the first layer of chaos. The battle between your logical mind and your profound, often wordless, intuition. Your mind presents the evidence. This is a good opportunity, a necessary ending, a logical next step. It shows you spreadsheets and pro-con lists. It reminds you of your ambitions and your timelines. But your Scorpio soul, the part of you that swims in the deep waters of the unseen, is sending up a flare. It's communicating not in words, but in feelings. A knot in your stomach. A sudden wave of exhaustion when you think about walking through that door. A strange, melancholic nostalgia for a past you desperately want to escape. This is the first and most critical message. Your intuition is not being irrational. It is perceiving a truth that your conscious mind has not yet processed. It is trying to save you not from the opportunity itself, but from the consequences of entering it in your current state. The reflection here is a radical act of self-trust. The universe is asking you to pause, not because the path is wrong, but because you are not yet properly equipped to walk it. Imagine a legendary warrior being gifted a powerful magical sword, but their armor is cracked, their shield is splintered, and their body is weary from 100 previous battles. To charge into a new war in this state would be suicide, no matter how magnificent the sword. You, Scorpio, are that warrior. That door is your new campaign, and the urgent message of late October is this: put down the key, turn away from the door, and tend to your armor. The real preparation, the real work, happens not in front of the door, but in the long, silent hallway that led you to it. This brings us to our next cycle of discovery. What happens when you turn your back on that demanding, imposing door? What do you see? You see the path you've just walked. But it's not just a path. It has transformed into a long, dimly lit gallery, a hall of mirrors. And this, Scorpio, is where the true journey of late October begins. It's a place of profound curiosity. Who are these reflections staring back at you? They are the ghosts of your past selves, the echoes of your former lives, all trapped in glass, and you are dragging every single one of them with you towards that new door. Look into the first mirror. See the younger you, the one who experienced that first searing betrayal, the one who learned that love could have barbs, that trust could be a weapon used against you. See the shock in their eyes, the hardening of their heart. You think you've moved past this, that you've healed, but the reflection shows the truth. You built a fortress around your heart that day, and you've been living in it ever since. A part of you still operates from that primal wound, scanning every new person for potential threats, holding a piece of yourself back in every interaction, just in case. This reflection is a weight, an anchor of suspicion you carry into every relationship. You cannot walk through a door to true intimacy and connection while a part of you is still fighting a war that ended years ago. Move to the next mirror. This one is different. It shows you in a moment of triumph. You are powerful, in control, celebrated. You achieved the impossible. You proved them all wrong. It feels good to look at, a validation of your strength. But look closer. See the cost of that victory. See the sleepless nights, the sacrificed relationships, the parts of your own joy you deemed unnecessary in the pursuit of that goal. This mirror isn't a memory, it's a blueprint. It taught you that your worth is tied to your achievements, that your value is measured by your ability to endure and conquer. You are dragging this blueprint towards the new door, believing that the same brutal formula for success is required for the next chapter. You are preparing for a battle, when what waits on the other side might be a garden that simply needs to be tended. And then there are the other mirrors, the ones that are harder to look at. The mirror of the self-saboteur who made a choice out of fear and has replayed it 1,000 times. The mirror of the chameleon who changed their colors so completely to fit in that they forgot their own. The mirror of the silent martyr who carried the emotional burdens of their entire family, mistaking that crushing weight for love. This is the chaos. It's the overwhelming realization that you are not a singular person standing at a doorway. You are a procession, a parade of past selves, each with their own unresolved pain, their own outdated beliefs, their own rigid fears. And they are all clinging to you, whispering their cautionary tales, influencing your decisions from the shadows. To bring this entire haunted procession through a new doorway would be to contaminate the new beginning with all the unresolved endings of the past. It would ensure that the new room, no matter how beautiful, eventually looks exactly like the old one. The reflection from this hall of mirrors is one of profound compassion and release. You are not meant to shatter these mirrors. You cannot erase your past. The task is to walk back to each reflection, look it in the eye, and speak the truth. To the betrayed child, I see you. I honor your pain. But I am safe now. I have the wisdom to choose trust wisely. Your war is over. You can rest. To the relentless achiever, I thank you for your strength. You got us here, but your methods are no longer required. My worth is inherent, not earned. You can rest. This is the sacred work of integration. It's about reclaiming the lost fragments of your soul. Each time you do this, a mirror dissolves. The ghost is not vanquished. It is integrated. Its pain is transformed into wisdom. Its fear becomes discernment. Its rigidity becomes strength. You are not destroying your past. You are harvesting it for its power. And you will know you are ready to face the door again when you can look back down the hallway and see not 1,000 fractured reflections, but a single clear path illuminated by the light of understanding. Now, with the hallway behind you cleared, we enter a new space of inquiry. You are free from the past, but where are you now? You find yourself in a quiet circular room. In the center is a large wooden table, a mapmaker's table. But as you look down, a fresh wave of anxiety hits you. The map is completely, blindingly blank. There are no continents, no oceans, no markers, no compass rose. There is only an empty expanse, and you have no idea what to draw. This is the next phase of curiosity. Before you can choose a destination, the door, you must first understand your current location and the tools you have to navigate. The chaos of this moment is the terror of the unknown, amplified by the expectations of the world. Society gives us pre-printed maps. They tell us to go to college, get a job, get married, buy a house, climb the ladder. Our families give us maps, showing us the paths they took or the paths they wished they had taken. Our past pain gives us maps with all the dangerous territories clearly marked in red, territories we vow never to visit again. We are conditioned to follow, to trace the lines that already exist. But the blank map is a spiritual truth. At this pivotal juncture, none of the old maps apply. The new world you are about to enter is uncharted territory, not just for you, but for everyone. To use an old map would be to navigate a new continent using a map of your old neighborhood. It's not just useless, it's disastrous. You search your pockets for a tool and you find a compass. But it's strange. It doesn't point north. It points towards what is safe, what is approved of, what is prestigious. It spins wildly when you consider a choice that is joyful but unconventional. It settles firmly on a path that is miserable but financially secure. This is the counterfeit compass. It was given to you so long ago you've forgotten it isn't your own. It was forged from the fears of your parents, the judgments of your peers, and the limitations you accepted as truth. And for many Scorpios, this is the very instrument you've been using to make your life's biggest decisions. And you wonder why you feel so lost. You wonder why you've arrived at a place that looks successful on the outside, but feels hollow on the inside. You've been navigating with a broken instrument. This is the great challenge of your present moment. The pressure to do something, to draw a line on that map, to pick a direction, any direction, is immense. The blankness feels like failure. But the profound reflection here is that the blank map is not an absence. It is a gift. It is pure potential. And your work is not to fill it in hastily, but to sit at the table in the quiet stillness and begin the sacred task of building a new compass. This compass is not made of external validation or logical reasoning. It is made of far more potent esoteric materials. The needle is forged from your own intuition, the one you've been learning to trust again. The housing is carved from radical self-worth, the knowing that you deserve joy, not just survival. The directional points are not north, south, east, and west, but resonance, expansion, passion, and peace. You learn to hold a thought, an idea, a potential future in your mind, and feel how the compass reacts. Does the needle sing and vibrate with resonance? Does it hum with a feeling of expansion? Or does it feel cold, heavy, and dead? This is the new navigation. This is you learning your own true north. This process is slow. It is frustrating. It requires you to disappoint people. It requires you to sit in the discomfort of not knowing. But it is the most vital work you can do. You are not just preparing for the next chapter. You are defining the very nature of how you will travel for the rest of your life. The message for late October is to honor the blank map, to ceremonially discard the counterfeit compass, and to patiently, lovingly begin the work of crafting your own. You cannot make the right move until you have a reliable way to know what right even feels like for you anymore. You have to recalibrate your entire guidance system. Having addressed the past in the Hall of Mirrors and the present at the mapmaker's table, we must now descend into the very heart of the matter, the engine room of your being. What is the deep internal process that fuels all of this change? Where does the real transformation take place? This leads us to our next great exploration, the alchemist's forge. The stillness you are being called to is not empty. It is a sacred container, and within it, a fire has been lit. A fire that you, with your Plutonian soul, know very well. It is the fire of transmutation. The chaos of the forge is that it does not feel like a holy place. It feels like hell. It is hot, loud, and violent. It is the dark night of the soul made manifest. In this forge, the universe is not asking you to add anything new to yourself. It is demanding that you throw everything you think you are into the crucible. First, you throw in your armor, the cynicism, the defensive mechanisms, the walls you built to protect yourself. You watch it melt down, hissing and spitting, leaving you feeling terrifyingly vulnerable. It feels like you are losing your strength, but you are actually shedding your rigidity. Next, you throw in your old crowns, the titles, the achievements, the identities that gave you a sense of importance. Your identity as the successful one, the strong one, the one who always has it together. You watch them turn to molten slag, and with them goes your ego's security. You are plunged into an identity crisis, asking, if I am not that, then who am I? This feels like a regression, a failure, but it is a liberation. You are unbecoming so you can truly become. Then comes the hardest part. You throw in your weapons, the sharp tongue, the ability to psychically pinpoint another's weakness, the stinger you wield when you feel threatened. These tools have kept you safe. They have ensured your survival. Letting them melt feels like disarmament in a hostile world. It feels like giving up your power. The fire rages, and you are left feeling naked, untitled, and defenseless. This is the peak of the alchemical chaos. It is the moment when you feel you have lost everything, that the process has destroyed you. You are nothing but primordial, molten essence in the crucible. But then the fire subsides, the forge cools, and the reflection, the great alchemical secret, is revealed. The process was not about destruction. It was about purification. The lead of your past pain, your fear, your ego, it has not vanished. It has been transmuted. From the molten armor comes not rigidity, but true resilience, the flexibility to bend without breaking. From the molten crowns comes not ego, but authentic purpose, a sense of self that radiates from within, needing no external validation. And from the molten weapons comes not aggression, but profound power, the focused, intentional energy of a creator, not a combatant. Your sting is not gone. It has been transformed into a surgeon's scalpel, a tool for precise healing and truth-telling, to be used with wisdom, not reactivity. This is the Phoenix process, the core of the Scorpio mystery. The waiting period. The pause you are being called to in late October is not passive. It is the forge. It is the most active, intense, and crucial work you will ever do. You must allow that which is no longer you to burn away, so that the gold of your true essence can finally emerge, pure and unbreakable. And so, cleansed by the mirrors, reoriented by the compass, and reforged in the alchemical fire, we finally return to where we started. We walk back down the now empty hallway, our footsteps echoing with a new weight, a new purpose. We arrive once more at the door, and this is the final, most glorious cycle. The curiosity is electric. What does it look like now? It's the same door, yet it is completely different. The threatening, hungry energy is gone. The carvings no longer seem foreign but familiar, telling the story of your own lineage, your own soul's journey. It emanates a calm, gentle hum of invitation, not demand. You look down at the key in your hand. It is no longer a heavy, cold burden. It is light, warm, and it glows with a soft inner luminescence. It fits your palm as if it were made for you, because now it is. It is a part of you. You step forward and the final chaos unfolds, but it is a chaos of beauty and wonder. As you approach, you realize it's not the only door. Where there was one, there are now 3. No, 5. No, a dozen. Each one is glowing. Each one is a valid and beautiful potential reality. One door opens onto a peaceful coastline. Another opens into a bustling, creative city. A third opens to a quiet library filled with ancient wisdom. The terrible binary choice of yes or no, in or out, has dissolved. The universe is not presenting you with a test. It is presenting you with a landscape of pure potential, a gallery of futures, and it is honoring you with the freedom to choose. The old you would have been paralyzed by this, frantic to analyze which choice was the best one, the most strategic one. But the new you simply smiles. You hold up your newly forged compass. You look at the door that represents the big move you were so fixated on before. You ask your soul, does this resonate? Does this feel like expansion? And you listen calmly for the answer. Maybe it's a resounding yes. The compass needle sings, and you know with every cell in your body that this is the way. Or maybe, to your surprise, the needle is still. It's a beautiful path, but it is not your path, not anymore. Another door, one you never would have even considered before, is the one that makes your entire being light up. This is the ultimate reflection, the final and most empowering message for you, Scorpio, for the end of October. The instruction, don't make a move, was never a no. It was a not yet. It was an intervention of divine grace, a cosmic pause designed to save you from making a decision as a fragmented, wounded, and misaligned version of yourself. It was an invitation to undertake the sacred journey of becoming whole. Now, as your season reaches its zenith, as the veil thins and your power is at its peak, the time for stillness is ending. The time for conscious, empowered movement is at hand. You are no longer a survivor forcing open a locked door. You are a sovereign creator, standing in a field of infinite possibility, holding a key of light. You have done the work. You have faced the shadows. You have forged your own soul. And now you are finally, truly ready to choose. Ready to turn the key. Ready to make your move.